I remember the days when Kickstarter was becoming ingrained into the English vocabulary. It was that type of brand that you'd say, I don't have money for something, why don't you kickstart it? Regardless if you'd use the Kickstarter platform or not. It was really that good. And as everything that gets popular, it has to be co-opted by bigot ideologues. And in this case, on that fateful day of October the 2nd, 2019, we are told that Kickstarter is now becoming a public benefit corporation committed to fighting inequality and creating a more equitable world. Kickstarter does not allow discrimination, subjugation, or intolerance towards marginalized groups. In other words, they grew a conscience.
Conscience gets expensive, doesn't it?
And now it seems that Kickstarter has to lay off 45% of their staff. But you know what? That is okay. That is okay, because all the people that they helped, all the goodness that they did in our little world is going to come back to them. So all the people that were saved from being marginalized, all the people that benefited from the equity of Kickstarter are now going to pitch in money. They're going to pitch in money and save Kickstarter from going through these troubled times. Isn't that right, folks? Yeah, it's never about equity. It's never about protecting people. It's never about making the world a better place. It's about creating a protection racket, which people at Kickstarter did. You see, there was a lot of incestuous relationships between various comic book creators working at big companies, between various activists masquerading as journalists, and people from Kickstarter itself creating like this little thing that like sort of like a union that if you want to have your comics being pushed through Kickstarter, you need approval from them. And we notice this is the case because a lot of comic books that literally had nothing to do with politics and they weren't politically charged didn't manage to get through Kickstarter. It's your boy Zach, for example, made a comic book that has no like you can't find anything that violates Kickstarter's terms of service in it. Got pushed away by Kickstarter. And then there was another comic book. This one, actually, you might make an argument. You see, the hero of the story managed to save a girl from a very diverse gang of people that were of color. And how can you portray people of color as being gang members? That is absolutely horrible. Only white people can be gang members. We know that. So if you want to have gangsters in your comic book, you need to have the white people. Otherwise, Kickstarter won't fund your project. It's kind of funny because most of these comics together managed to make millions of dollars. So literally Kickstarter just said, yeah, we're not going to take hundreds of thousands of dollars in cut for us because we have ethics and morality and we protect people. We protect people from discrimination. Well, it's okay because now the people you protected are definitely going to give you their thanks. And they're going to part open their wallets in order to help your company, aren't they? Yeah. And if you don't believe me, like, this is a lady which was in charge of gatekeeping. Like, literally that. They had a position in order to make sure that customers do not make it through the door. Like, a position that actually prevents the company from getting money. Like, if you can imagine something like this. I know it's difficult to describe to someone, but it was real. And this lady, along with 45 other percent of the people, got fired. Now, you're going to see various blue checkmarks from various places. Like, again, activists that are socialists masquerading as journalists, people from the comic book industry, all of these places that used to collude are now going, oh, so sad to see you go. Oh, so sad it come to this. You do not know the loss that your company is going to face because they had to let you go. No, they literally get a profit. It's nothing to do with the lady itself, but her job description was to prevent customers from going to Kickstarter. Like, that is a position that makes the company lose money rather than make money. No, it's absolutely fine. It is hilarious. Like, again, The Onion went bankrupt because they cannot make fun of reality anymore. You cannot make sarcasm when the world offers you gems like this. It's impossible. So let's look at the farewell that this lovely lady has given. It breaks my heart to say that this will be my last week at Kickstarter. My 8th marked my 2nd year at the company, and only a day before I found out that I would be among the 30% of staff laid off. It has been an immense honor and joy to have served the comics community in my capacity as comic outreach lead. In other words, comics gatekeeper or political commissar. I think that would be more accurate. Like if I were you, if I were to send my resume to another place, it would be like, what did you work as? Political commissar at Kickstarter. From organizing free creator headshots at FlameCon to creating the small press big idea initiative at SPX to helping my category gain over $60 million in pledges each year for the last 2 years to launch Kickstarter's first ever comics anthology. I mean, you really didn't do that. It's the fans that are making money. You know what I hate about these companies that gather money from the public, like Kickstarter and Patreon? They almost view it as if the money is theirs and they're the ones sponsoring the creator. When in reality, it's the people interested in the product that the creator puts on that are actually sponsoring the person. They're just the middle guy. But they constantly act like they're your mommy and daddy and deciding if you were a good guy enough in order to get the allowance for that month. Absolutely sickening way of thinking. But anyway, so I am very proud of my work, but I am even more grateful to have met so many passionate, funny, thoughtful, and generous creators. Which, yeah, boy, Zach isn't one of them, is he? He's not passionate, he's not funny, or maybe he is, but you haven't met him. Speaking of comrades, yeah. Here we go with the communist speak. You know, just call them Tovarish while you're at it, because it's also gender neutral. I want to shout out to Kickstarter United. Organizing and winning our union has been one of the best experiences in my life. Oh, look, the union organizer is one of the people getting fired. Isn't that ushi-kushi? Isn't it ushi-kushi? Yes, it was tumultuous, stressful, and at times painful, but it was all worth it, and I would do it over again in a heartbeat. Yeah. Make sure you write that on your resume when you're finding a new job. It's, I guess, I organize unions at the companies I work for. Because of our union and our incredible collective bargaining committee, we were able to negotiate a severance package of 4 months' pay with 6 months of paid COBRA for those making under median salary of $110,000. Holy shit, she makes a lot more than me. Those making above the median are receiving 4 months of paid COBRA. You know, like, this is not a problem when they're making unions as such. Like, this is not an issue. It's like, okay, you're going to talk with the other people working at your company in order to extort your boss for more money. Regardless if your boss actually has the money to give you or not. That's fine. No, what's not fine is when you use your outreach in order to promote socialist ideology, a communist ideology, when if you want to work at the company, you need to be on the same page with everyone else ideologically. That's one. And the second one is when you decide, all right, we're not going to give to that comic creator because that comic creator has different ideology than we do. That is a problem. Especially when you're preventing your company from earning money by doing that. And I have a feeling that was kind of what was going on. Looking at the blue check marks that are sad to see you go. Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that's what was actually happening at Kickstarter with your little union. It wasn't just to protect the employees' interests. It was also to make sure that the employees think the correct thoughts and that the people with the wrong thoughts don't get to have their comic books on Kickstarter and create competition for the people that you're trying to protect. Because that's the sad thing, you know, like, yeah, boy, Zach makes a more interesting comic than people at DC and at Marvel. And the sale number tells that. So, you are trying to protect the people that think the same way you do from competition. And you're using the terms of service as a shield, as an excuse. Oh, no, we just protect minorities. We just protect little people. Where are the minorities and the little people giving you money now? Where are they? Huh? Where are they? If I go out, you know, like, this is really interesting. If you actually do charity, and I know a lot of people who do charity work, and they help many people, and when they're in a pitch, the people they helped, who are now in a better situation, would actually pitch in order to help them in return. A lot of churches also operate by this way, not just Christian churches, Jewish churches, even in Islam, you get to see this happening, like someone gives to the community when they have plenty, and when they're in a time of trouble, the community helps them. Where is this? Where is this at Kickstarter happening if you legitimately help people, you lying twats? I'm very excited to see the remaining bargaining unit members win their very first contract. I only wish that I could be there to help make it happen. In the next few months, I will be sitting on the sidelines of Kickstarter United, however. I will not remain a stranger to the comics community. I'll be taking a few... is this like a threat? I'll be taking a few months to focus on my novel and graphic novel, but I'll also be starting my own newsletter where I'll offer free crowdfunding education. Woman, you did not offer crowdfunding education, you offered gatekeeping education. My hope is that I can continue to help creators, and I'm working to set up a Patreon page as well. Well, now here's your chance to get all the people you help to help you in return, I guess. But yeah, who would have imagined that turning away customers is not a sensible business decision? Kickstarter went way beyond that though. Like it hired a person to turn away customers. That's the astonishing part. And then you hire someone that has been schooled in political activism and is trained to think like a victim. And the first thing they do is they unionize the people in your company, asking you for more money, extorting you for more money. Brilliant. Absolutely ushi-kushi. I wish the tech companies in California more of this, not less. Yes, hire everyone that has a studies degree in anything. Social studies especially. Anti-colonialist studies is the best candidate that you can find. If you have that on the resume, hire them and give them a big position in your corporation. You know, someone that can actually have like some client relationship where they can turn away clients. You do that. It's really good for business. Trust me. No one knows better economics than a communist and a socialist. You need to put them in charge. Make sure that your entire marketing team is filled with these people. They're really great for business. Look at Kickstarter. They will tell you.